Alright, this is going to be a little accuracy test video here. I'll be testing the accuracy of not only this Bear Creek Arsenal upper that they recently sent me, but also testing the accuracy of this IMI ammunition here. They sent me this a few months back. I'll put a link in the description to the review video if you want to catch that. That's a 1 in 9 twist, and I specifically requested that because generally I shoot 55 grain ammunition, so that's why we will be testing the 55 grain version that they offer here. I know I've seen the 62s and even the 77s by IMI. So just got a little cheap Simmons 3 to 9x40 on here, but it's a good scope, so no worries there. And I got this BCA upper on my mil-spec Anderson lower here, so it's a mil-spec trigger, so not the greatest thing there for shooting accurately, but we'll give it a whirl anyways. So I know some of you guys are going to notice immediately, it looks like this scope is touching. I do not like it, but this is what we brought out here today, and it is in fact not touching. It's very ever so slightly, thanks to the dip in this handguard here. It's like half a mil, it's not touching. I've already zeroed it and been taking some shots out there, even out to 200 yards, and it's printing pretty well, so it shouldn't be bothering the scope any there. Now, like I said, it's mil-spec lower, so I got the mil-spec trigger with the creep and all of that. But on top of that, this is just the budget lower. Again, link in the description if you want to see the review of it. And obviously, it is not free-floated. Everybody knows free-floated barrels more accurate. So we're not free-floated there, and everything's just mil-spec, and it's a budget upper. So with that being said, generally your budget rifles, mil-spec and whatnot, at 100 yards, 2.5 to 3 inch groups is what's to be expected. So, and that's what's typical. So if we do any better than that here today, that's actually pretty good. So like I said, this is going to test the accuracy of not only this ammunition, but also the Bear Creek upper here. Alright, so right down there at 100 yards, it is laser rangefinder confirmed. Got some targets up, and we'll just print some groups and see what she does. There's a close-up of those for you, and these do come, as you can see, it's a triple stack there. These are 30 round boxes, not 20 rounds, so that's why the price is higher on these, because you're in fact getting an extra 10 rounds compared to the, you know, the more standard 20 round boxes. Also, there is a light breeze. It was much stronger earlier today. Right now it's kicked up a little bit, but I'll take my shots when it's died off a little, because it keeps going back and forth. Keep going between like a 5 and 10 mile an hour. Right now it feels like it's a little over 5, but not quite 10. It's kind of blowing directly at us though, and slightly to the right, so it won't affect us too much because for the most part it's coming straight back at us. But I'll try to wait between groups for it to calm down some before I hit the groups. And then also, you guys probably noticed I still do have the front sight on here. I know ideally you would take that off, but it's not really affecting my vision or anything through the scope, so that should be fine. And while I am shooting off this bag here, it is not 100% perfectly steady, but so it's not like a lead sled where I can take all movement out of the equation. So I will be moving around some. So just based off of that alone, whatever groups we get, you could shrink just by taking out human error from movement on the bag. And then, like I said, we got a mil-spec trigger with that creep, so that's going to affect it a little bit too. But I will do my best, and we'll see what we can accomplish here. All right, here we go. Alright, so as you can see, we're a little low there, so I'm going to give it a few clicks up for the next groups. All right, so I know you guys already saw they weren't fantastic groups, but like I said, 2.5 to 3 inches is what is typical for everything mil spec, budget, ARs and whatnot, and we definitely achieved that. So let's see here. We'll take a measurement when we get up there, but yeah, that trigger definitely gave me a little bit, but like I said, it's not a perfect rest for me either. I can see my crosshair pretty much moving around the entire circumference of this whole red thing here. So, you know, sometimes I'm clear over here when I pull the trigger, sometimes I'm clear over here, sometimes I'm right in the middle. It looks like I pulled that shot completely, because you can see we got 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. That had to have definitely been me. Then we come over here, there's your group there, a little off to the right compared to that one. And this one, I know I pulled one shot off to the right for sure, so that's probably that shot right there. And yeah, they're looking about 3 inches there, 3 inches there. Well, I think that's about, that one's probably a little less if it not been, well, even if you count that, either way. Kestrel. So remember, we got that breeze too, and as you can see, it's still currently blowing. So I think that's actually why this entire group's off to the right here compared to this one, other than that one I messed up being kind of like straight. It's probably that wind kicked up on us there. So like I said, you have that factor as well, that the wind is kind of blowing. Some of them it's blowing around, some of it's not. So like this one, it probably died down real well. This one probably kicked up a little bit. And then it's possible that this one, it was kind of back and forth, where it would die down and pick up back and forth. On that first group, you got about 2 1/4 there, center to center. This one a little bit more, but just a little over 2 1/4 center to center. So it's actually a little smaller than what I thought. And then yeah, this one's just that one's right at 3 inches because we slung them like that. That one, by the way, it was a little harder for me to aim at. This gave me a real good aim point, and I could see my crosshairs in it the whole time. When I was aiming at this one, I could not see the yellow at all, so I was just trying to do my best to keep it centered in that orange. So I meant to mention that before we even seen the results. I was going to say I expected this one to be worse because I did not like that target as much. So under 2.5 inches for both those first groups, so that's actually not that bad. Like I said, 2.5 to 3 inch is generally what's acceptable for, you know, a budget AR, you know, everything mil spec and whatnot. So like I said, those results, if I wasn't going like this with the crosshair, would be even better. If there was no wind, it would be even better. And then if I had a, you know, a drop-in trigger, it would be better still. So when you consider that it actually shoots better than what I just displayed there, that's actually pretty good. Like I said, it's not a free-floated barrel, so that shows that this upper does in fact shoot pretty well for what it is, and so does this ammunition. So if I had to guess, if I could take the movement out of it, there was no wind, and you put a better trigger in there, I would say that it'd be under 2 inch groups at 100 yards pretty consistently. And that may not be its most favorite ammunition either, but it certainly performs decent through it, that's for sure. So anyways, it seems like their budget upper there that's not free floated. Again, that's a 1-9 twist, 16 inch, not free floated. It seems like it does shoot pretty good. You could probably get under 2 inch groups with perfect scenarios, possibly even better if you find whatever ammo it likes best. And then also same goes for this stuff. It performed, I would say again, considering that we know the rifle will do better than what I just did, that this stuff performed pretty well, or pretty good as well. I've seen a couple of videos out there where people were getting MOA or sub MOA with their free float uppers, so that's something to consider there. Obviously if you're going for maximum accuracy, you would want to get the free floated setup and whatnot, but if you were curious what the more classic type upper there shoots with some decent ammunition, there you go, as far as BCA goes. And then if you're curious about this ammunition like I was as well, seems like it does pretty good. It ain't no worse than Winchester White Box or anything like that, that's for sure. That's going to wrap this one up. Thanks for watching. If you want to see a review video, as I said, link in the description for this rifle, or maybe I didn't say that. Anyways, link in the description for the review video on the upper there, not the rifle, the upper, because like I said, Anderson lower, but this is the upper that BCA sent me. So if you want to get yourself anything you see me use in the video, like the shooting bag, the target stand targets, earmuffs, all that more, steel targets as well, link in the description. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope to see you on the next one.